to this article real quick and see if we can get it up here. Tell me if you guys can y'all read this okay if I zoom it in here. We're good, right?
There you go.
There you go.
Tell me, we'll take it one at a time. Did this work out for the team that was trading for the receiver? Okay. The Browns acquire Odell Beckham Jr. from the Giants. The Browns got Odell Beckham Jr. and Olivier Vernon. Sorry. The Giants got Jabril Peppers, Kevin Zeitler, a first-round pick, a third-round pick. Did that work out? Did that work out for the Browns? Yes or no?
No, nothing has ever worked out for the Browns, including that deal.
Completely agree.
Remember when we heard about they were going to win the Super Bowl? They were the Super Bowl favorites that year.
Yeah. Jacob, that work out or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll move it along. That's a no. Bills acquire Stephon Diggs from the Vikings. Okay, the Bills get Diggs and a 7th-round pick. All right. The Vikings got a first-rounder, a 4th-rounder, a 5th-rounder, a 6th-rounder. Did that work out for the Bills? Did that work out for the Bills? Yes or no? Love the hesitation there. And people will say Diggs is a good wide receiver. Do you know how many times there was camera shots of him and Josh Allen arguing on the sideline? And did it get them over the hump? Yes or no?
No.
If you ask them, and this is how you know, you go back in time and go, Bills, here's what's going to happen. This is what you're giving up, and here's what's going to happen. Would you do the trade? They'll go, hell no. That one didn't work out. All right, Cardinals acquired DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans. Cardinals got Hopkins in a 4th-round pick. The Texans get David Johnson, a 2nd, and a 4th.
Yeah, Houston won that one for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, that one didn't work out. Texans acquired Brandon Cooks from the Rams. The Texans got Cooks in a 4th-round pick. The Rams got a 2nd-round pick. That one's a little more tolerable because it's really like, okay, you traded back 2 rounds and you picked up a starting receiver, right? But again, it wasn't like that was the thing that put them, got them over the hump. You know what I mean? You notice how it's all consistently bad teams too, like teams that just you never hear about them playing in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Like over the hump. That's what you mean, right? Is like competing for a Super Bowl, like at least being a playoff team or wild card team, kind of in the mix. Yeah.
Jake Shavink said, "Are we treating success as winning a Super Bowl? What's the measurement for working out? Would you do the trade knowing what you know now, Jake? That's the criteria here. Would you do that trade again? I haven't seen one that I would do again if I were one of those GMs. Like, yeah, boy, that paid off. I just don't see it.
I mean, if I'm Houston, I'm doing that deal again.
Right. Absolutely. Browns acquire Amari Cooper from the Cowboys. So they got Amari Cooper in a 6th-round pick, and the Cowboys ended up getting a 5th and a 6th. So that's, I don't think there's any harm, any foul there, right? That's not bad. So, and notice that acquired a contract, 3 years, $60 million remaining. That's interesting. Cooper played out 2.5 years on the contract in Cleveland before the Browns shipped him to Buffalo to finish out the 2024, retaining almost all of the remaining salary. So, yeah.
And he's on the market now, correct?
He is. That is correct. The Dolphins acquired Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs. The Dolphins get Hill. The Chiefs got a 1st, a 2nd, 2 4ths, and a 6th. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like Kansas City did just fine after that deal.
Yeah, they allowed them to completely rebuild their squad. I mean,
and win another championship, right? Remember, that was the talk. They won't be able to win a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill, and they went right out and won the Super Bowl.
And they introduced the world to Isaiah Pacheco, and
the Stomper.
Yep.
That dude looks so pissed off when he runs. I love watching him run a football, man. He does. Let's see here. Jake Shavink said the Bills competed for Super Bowls with Diggs. Did they make it to the Super Bowl? They didn't, did they? Am I missing something here? They did. The Bills never made it to the Super Bowl, right? So they made it to the –
never will as long as Pat Mahomes is still in the league, apparently, right?
They made it to the AFC champion, which, by the way, the other day I seen a meme. You guys know, like when I was growing up, it was more common. You would see kids in poor countries wearing like Super Bowl champion shirts. You know what I'm talking about? Like they print
the wrong team,
print a bunch of them when the team loses. And it's a good thing to do, right? You give it to somebody that needs clothes and whatever. And it was that meme of that woman thinking, and there's numbers and symbols and stuff flashing around. It said, It's the kids in third world countries trying to figure out how the Chiefs were the only team to win 3 Super Bowls in a row after the Bills already did it. Let's go. That's so good. Let's go, man. Let's go. So, yeah, and here's the thing. Tyreek Hill, one of, if not the best receivers in the league, right? But the point that I'm trying to prove here is the old rule of wide receiver is the last piece you put in place. What you're seeing are a bunch of teams that are just, we got to have a receiver. We got to have a receiver. We got to have a receiver. And it never got them over the hump. Never, and a lot of them overpaid out the wazoo. I bet if you went to the Dolphins and said, hey, if you had that one back, would you go get Tyreek Hill knowing what you know now? It could be yes, but if I'm the GM and I'm looking up and going, boy, could we have built better in the trenches? And could we have won, could we have gotten deeper in the playoffs? Hell, just use that as the criteria, right?
Could we have given up 1 or 2 less picks to get them?
Right. They paid out the wazoo.
Yeah. Oh, and didn't Tyreek say that he wants to get traded again at the end of the season? So, I mean, it's not like they've even had.
And then he
wants out of Miami, right? Isn't that?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then Tyreek populated 12% of Florida. That's so spot on. Jaguars acquiring Calvin Ridley from the Falcons. All right. Ridley, the Jaguars got Ridley. The Falcons got a 3rd and a 5th round pick. They acquired that 1 year for $11 million. Yeah.
So who was the third and 5th round pick that the Falcons got?
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
Yeah, that's how you really want to, if you want to dig, right? We can kind of see, but I don't remember the Jags doing much, with or without Calvin Ridley.
Right. And this one right here has been a little close to home. The Bears acquiring DJ Moore from the Panthers. Listen, I think DJ Moore is a good receiver. I could be wrong. I'm probably in the minority there. But I remember Michael Lombardi. I wish Emilio was on here so I know he could confirm this. Michael Lombardi ranted on this so hard. He was like, why in the hell are you trading picks to get a receiver when you aren't even close to sniffing the Super Bowl? Like, why are you giving up all this draft capital to go get a wide receiver type thing, right? So of course the way that trade worked out, the Bears ended up getting DJ Moore, 2 firsts, 2 seconds.
That's crazy.
And Carolina ended up they get the number 1 overall pick, and that was to draft the quarterback. What's his name now? I can't even think of his name now. Quarterback in Carolina. I'm pretty sure that's what they used that pick on, if I remember right. From Bama, I can see his face. I can't think of his name. Anyway, that one there is a very odd one, right? And it doesn't really apply to the conversation we're having here. The fact that the Bears got that much draft capital and they're not better already is just wild. Like, how bad are you at drafting?
That is crazy.
You got 2 firsts and 2 seconds and a wide receiver. Like, you look at that trade and go, I would make that trade again if I was the Bears. I definitely would.
Well, yeah, and then everybody forgets.
Bryce Young, there you go. Thank you.
Bryce Young was the guy that they got for all that load. I mean, I'm eager to see, what did Bryce Young do last year? Because I've been defending him quite a bit. Because I looked at that Carolina Panthers team and the play call and everything that year. I was going, man, I wouldn't judge Bryce Young off what's going on there his rookie year just based off of how bad that team was coaching wise. Yeah, last year he rebounded, Jacob. This might surprise you, man. I was thinking something like this happened. His rookie year was 56.4. They changed the coaching staff up. Last year he jumped to a 74.4. So that's encouraging.
Finished the year. The last 3 games of the season was a 91.7, an 80.3, and an 89.3.
Wow. All right.
So, and I remember watching the tape on him and comparing and contrasting those quarterbacks. He was my favorite quarterback that year, if I remember correctly. He was definitely in the top 2. I remember thinking he's got the release. He's got the quick release. He's got the accuracy. He's also got the smarts. He's hearing Nick Saban rave over him. Obviously, it was his quarterback. He's going to speak highly of him. And Michael Lombardi talking about it. Bill Belichick on their podcast was talking about how he was just a very, very high IQ kid at the quarterback position. So any of those you want to revisit real quick? And I think it is important. Did we learn anything? How does this apply to DK? Because it says with news out of Seattle that DK has formally requested the trade this offseason. We take a look at previously processed trades from the last 10 years that involved a notable wide receiver aged 27 to 28. including acquired contract details and the future outlooks for each.
It's like you said before, somebody's going to overpay. Someone's going to auction the future of their franchise off to get DK.
Yeah.
I hope it's not us. I really do.
Yeah, and again, I keep wanting to come back to the whole for the right price. Well, that's not the reality here. He's asking for $30 million a year, and they're wanting a first and a third. We're not there, yet. So, I don't know. All right, Jake G126. Yeah, we learned don't trade, draft the wide receiver, which takes us back to the original comment. Sir Jaden Higgins, right?
There's a guy.
That is a guy right there. All right. Anything else you guys want to add on? Hopefully, we're just about done talking about DK.
Can I talk about someone else?
Yeah, absolutely. Who you got?
Evan Ingram's on the market. Veteran tight end. We talked about the Luke Musgrave kind of uncertainty. We talked about possibly mid to late round draft, bringing in a tight end to kind of share that workload with Tuck Norris out there. Allow Tucker Kraft to be more of more of that vertical threat we know he can be. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are. Do you think I don't know what the market is for a guy like Evan Ingram, but you're talking about a 1 or 2 year type of deal here. I'm thinking maybe that's a guy you take a shot at. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Evan Ingram, looking at the PFF grades here, let's start there. Throughout his career, 62, 76, 64, 60, 53. And then once he got to Jacksonville, 67, 71, 72. So he's gotten better every year. He would grade out definitely as our second best tight end on our roster for sure. Jacob, what's your take on him? I'm going to try to pull up his market value real quick.
I really do like Evan Ingram. He's really, really good player, especially on that tight end. Not quite sure how he grades out in the blocking aspects, but as far as being a receiving tight end, I don't think there's many more that do it better right now in the NFL. Again, it's going to come down to money for me. So like if he's a 8, I'd be willing to give him maybe like 7 or 8, something like that. But I don't know if that's the type of contract that he would play for at this point in his career. But that dude is end zone threat, red zone threat. If you could, like you said, if you walk into there and you're in a 12 formation or something and you have to figure out, what am I going to do? Am I going to cover any of the guys on the outside? Am I going to cover Jacobs, or do I have to worry about 2 amazing tight ends that can both be receiving threats that are very, very capable of completely turning the field? So I don't know. I'd be cool. Again, it comes down to money.
There's no market value for him. He's 30 and a half years old. All right. His previous average annual value was $13.7 million. So seeing we don't have a market value, Tim, I think we got to ask ourselves, okay, based off just go off the grades alone, right? Do we feel like he's worth what he's gotten to this point? Or do you think, okay, his value has dropped now that he's cracked the age of 30? You know what I'm saying?
He's coming off injury too. We should share that as well, right? He had an injury last year, correct?
Yes.
I believe that's true.
So that's the only reason I bring him up is like, veteran guy coming off the injury, kind of steady Eddie, as you would say, Jacob, like maybe because of all those factors, we get him for a good deal and we can bring him in here on a, 3-year deal that's really 2 years or something, or, a 2-year that's really 1. I don't know. Just spitballing,
Yeah. And if we were to look at the contract, right, again, his previous average annual value was $13.7 million. Tyler Conklin is right below him at $6.7 million, and he's 29.6 years old. So they're less than a year apart. So let's look at his market value since we got his. His is at $9 million. So if we're saying Evan Ingram is worth $9 million, I don't like the idea of paying any backup starter money. Yeah. And to me, that's kind of starter money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of spitting in Tucker's face, to be honest, too.
That's the thing, too, is like,
right, because he would be next, right? We got to figure out his contract before you know it,
right?
And that's the priority. So I agree. That's why I brought this up. I just wanted to hear you guys.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
because that hadn't even crossed my mind. Again, these are all the players that were cut. Ari Mirov put a tweet out at My Sports Update. The Jaguars in a single day traded Christian Kirk to Houston. Will release tight end Evan Ingram, kick returner, punt return Devin Duvernay. wide receiver Josh Reynolds, and cornerback Ronald Darby, and also saw starting center Mitch Morse retire. So, boy, they gonna be having tryouts down there, boys. They're gonna be just opening up the stadium. Going there, anybody who can throw a football, come in here. We're gonna test you out.
Can I share a little report that just dropped about 11 minutes ago?
Oh, we got breaking news, Jacob.
Yeah, it's not.
We gotta have a sound drop for breaking news. Tim, hit us with any kind of sound drop. We gotta have. Oh, just warming it up for the draft. Go ahead, Jacob. You have the floor, sir.
Pretty good. The report is that it's possible that Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf plays out the final year of his deal in Seattle if they cannot find a trade that satisfies all parties involved, per Mike Duger. They want a resolution before the draft.
So this is on Twitter, is that right?
Yeah, it's on the old Twitters.
Whose Twitter account was it? I'll put it on the screen for you.
GPA football, but source to Mike Duggar. MikeDugar.
Okay, GPA football. I'll see if I can find that account. Or is it JPA football? Is that what it is?
JPA.
Okay, my bad. I'm missearching my fault. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna get on the screen so everybody can see. It makes it a little bit easier when you get the visualization there, right? So let's throw it up here and read it verbatim. All right, so JPA football tweeted out per Mike Duggar. It's possible that Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf plays out the final year of his deal in Seattle if he cannot find a trade that satisfies all parties involved. They want a resolution before the draft. I'm trying to think of who Mike Duggar is. It sounds familiar. I'm sure it's a credible source.
Sure did.
45,000 followers, so that's probably legit there. Yeah, so what did Drew say? I'm sorry, Jake. What did you have?
No, he just said Mike Duggar is respectable, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, I agree based off of following he has there. So yeah, this is kind of what we were just talking about, right? Like there's still a chance he returns, and there's going to be so many fans. I can't believe Goody wouldn't give up a third round.
No, it's all smoke screens, man. It's poker. Everybody's seeing what the other person's willing to do. They're watching their reactions.
Secrets.
Exactly.
That's right. All right, so there you go. Appreciate you dropping that in here live on the show, Jacob. That's awesome. All right, let's go back to Twitter. There's a couple other things I wanted to hit on real quick. What are we at? 59-minute mark. Y'all ain't no hurry, are you? Doesn't matter if you are. I've got you.
I was gonna share this.
Let's go, Bobby Swagner.
Hey, but Tim, he's too old. He's 34, 35 or something.
No, that doesn't apply to Bobby Wagner. That doesn't apply. That's like age doesn't apply to guys like that. It didn't
like
apply to Ray Lewis.
Cal Ripken.
Yeah,
put that name in my mouth right there.
The Commanders are re-signing linebacker and future Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner to a one-year contract worth $9.5 million per year.
$9.5.
At age 34, Wagner played 99% of the snaps.
Here's the guy.
So Bobby Wagner gonna keep doing it, boys. I'd like to see him get another ring, man. He's a class act. I like that dude a lot. I kind of wish Green Bay had went and gotten him, but if they had gotten him though, Tim, they might not have drafted Edgerrin Cooper either.
Right.
Exactly.
I think we may have, boys. It's early, and the wheels could fall off. I'm totally aware of that. But based off what we've seen last year, there's a decent chance we've got a Hall of Famer in Edgerrin Cooper. There's, to this point, which is the very, 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 very tiniest sample size, he's checked the boxes. That's exciting, man. That's really
and exciting. As bad as I'm with you and wanted to see Bobby Wagner in green and gold, that would have been a progress stopper for our guys in the middle. It's just a fact. Yeah. And so it's just good to see him still playing. And I'm glad we got Coop. Future looks bright with Tyron Hopper and Edge Coop. We re-signed Zay McDuffie, add some depth there, help us in the run fits, and let these young guys develop there. And so it would have been cool though. Don't get me wrong, because I think you'd be right, Clay. He'd probably we'd be announcing this with the Packers right now, right? Probably an extension or a 1-year deal. So yeah, man, I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, definitely. I think we covered everything, gents. I think we're good. Again, that poll question, Green Bay Packers fans, would you be willing to pay $25 million per year for DK Metcalf if he were a free agent? So forget the trade compensation. It was almost 50-50, 54 to 45%. I think if I'd have thrown in, I had it topped out to put a third-round pick in there as well, But I was like, you know what? I want to know, what do they see as true value at? That's the reason I asked the question the way we did, just strictly free agency. So, yeah. All right. Jacob, what else you got, man? I know you got some other stuff wrote down over there, man. You got anything else you want to hit?
No, I mean, not really. It's just more of a Drew D was commenting about how Packer fans know what bad linebacker play looks like, and it's not Edgerrin Cooper. That's true. I mean, we had our our AJ Hawk years, and heck, even like Desmond Bishop, Nick Barnett, but there was really we never. I don't remember the last time we've had a Nitschke since Nitschke. You know what I mean? Where it was like, you don't come over the middle, you don't run his way, you don't look at him weird, you don't wink at him, you don't talk about his mom, you don't talk about his sister. Like I want a brutal, just absolute monster back there, and I really do think that Cooper is on.
So you weren't happy with Blake Martinez?
I like his Pokemon cards, but I never got him in the mail. It was weird.
I wonder why.
This is weird, dude.
Wow.
Do you remember that when he retired? They're like, I saw like 5 stories where they're like, Blake Martinez shifts his career and he's a multimillionaire doing what he loves. And then like 2 minutes later, it was like, he's in jail.
How dare you?
That's exactly what happened, man. Jacob over there emailing him, texting him, hey, man, I haven't got my cards. Why ain't I got my cards?
Huh? That ain't no problem.
Well,
You know what I hit him with? I said, hey, girl, you a Pokemon? Because I want a Pikachu.
That's terrible.
No? Don't give me that, Charles. Come on, chat. That's a good line.
Have y'all ever seen the video on YouTube? I think I showed you guys this the other night. I showed somebody this the other night, where there's this guy who's naming all of the Pokemon. I don't know anything about Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
But he's naming them off, but he's saying the wrong names.
oh yeah, that was hilarious.
We need a sound drop. We need to. Oh, that's Pikachu. Everybody knows Pikachu.
Yes,
we need that sound drop.
He was just like making stuff up on the fly.
There were some of them were the big.
Everybody knows that's Big B.
Here's the guy.
All right, we're done. Anything else? This was fun, though, man. I'm glad we got a chance to do this. Everybody calling for a mock in here. Sorry, Chuck. We can't. I don't have the energy tonight.
Could be a crackhead.
We will do it soon. I promise, man.
There he goes. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
That
Jake.
was it, Jake. Onion turtle.
Yeah.
God, it's so good, man. It is so good. Jason Watt said 3-round mock. Do it. Y'all want to do a rapid fire 3-round mock?
Get ready to go.
All right. I'm talking like, let's actually put us on the clock, like a 30-second or a minute in between rounds.
I'm not
Let's do
starting
that.
the clock, Jacob. If you're here, you're here, my friend. That's the way it works.
That ain't no
You're here.
problem. Huh? That ain't no problem.
Well,
All right. We're going to do PFF. Is that all right?
Let's do it.
All right. Y'all talk us into it. Look at you guys. Imagine
Peer
that.
pressure. Actually, wait. If we get 3 super chats, and
No,
that's
let's Y'all are unbelievable. All right, let's go mock draft simulator.
no chance.
Jake
This is going
Savane,
25
no
minutes.
chance. Only 25 minutes.
Son of a.
We're going 3 rounds. I'm going to go with our beloved Green Bay Packers. All right, let's hit this. We're ready, right? We got everything. We're going fast.
Let's do
Turbo
it.
speed. Just a turbo mock. Here we go.
Heard it from a
Starting
fan
up
right
now.
here.
All right, 23. Pick 23. Here are the best available according to PFF. Safety Malachi Starks, edge defender James Pierce Jr., and wide receiver Luther Burden III. Boys, what positions do you want to see?
I just keep scrolling down the best available here. The hell with the position.
You just want to do
groups.
that? All right.
Chuck
Get
says,
that
If we're rapid firing, right?
Yep, let's just go. Yeah, let's do it. Kelvin Banks Jr., Derek Harmon, Darius Alexander, Walter Nolan, Omarion Hampton, Holston Loveland, Gray Zabel, Nick Scourton. I'm flying blind, too. I don't have –
You guys know how much I love Darius Alexander, but I don't want to get roasted for taking him at 23.
trade back.
Jacob, sir.
You got no trades available. My bad.
James Pierce Jr. would be best available on my board. There's no doubt about it.
I was going to say James Pierce Jr. That's what I would do.
Did Kenneth Grant go? Just taking a peek here. Did Kenneth Grant go? He did not, so he's on there somewhere.
Yeah,
No,
he
there
is.
he is. Yeah, he went to pick 20. This is interesting. Yeah, if this fell this way, I would go James Pierce Jr. How do you guys feel about it? You want to see a certain
I agree.
Other than that, or like I said, Derek Harmon or Alexander. Yeah. But none of them are as high on our board as Pierce is.
Yeah, we got Pierce in the 10 spot, and Derek Harmon is 25th. So, and now I've got all these windows open. I don't know which one was.
Yeah, so Pierce would be the better value here then, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's go Pierce. All right, we're going to go edge defender out of Tennessee, James Pierce
Jr. We're not buying all the lot.
Oof.
Right.
I
So-
hate to just pick the guy that's top of the board there, but
Oh yeah, run the card. I'm with
I
you.
love
Let's
Trey
do it.
Amos, man.
Trey Amos.
Yeah. Top 3 available: Trey Amos, cornerback out of Mississippi; defensive lineman Shamar Turner out of Texas A&M; and Alfred Collins, defensive lineman out of Texas.
I say Amos or Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Chat
see where we
seems to
got
like Amos.
Amos. Let's see where we got Amos, because I'm pretty sure he's right in that ballpark. We got Trey Amos in the 45 spot on our board. Alfred Collins is higher on our board, and that is a 3-tech. But I'm with you guys. Everybody's calling it. We're going Trey Amos. All right, Trey
Amos
is the pick. All
Jordan
right.
Phillips, run the card. We need a D lineman.
Tim's ready. Tim's like,
Let's go.
Summer's ready. I got to get out of here. So we got Jordan Phillips, defensive lineman out of Maryland.
I go Marcus Bowe.
Marcus Bowe.
Oh,
Or Wyatt. I love Wyatt.
Yep.
Wyatt Malum, Tate Ratledge.
Can you quick just look at Wyatt's grades? And I don't understand how this guy's not getting more credit. Wyatt Malum. Yeah.
Yeah, Malum. PFF really liked Malum. Let me see where he's at on our board, because I want to say he's a little bit lower.
That's 0 sacks and 1 hit allowed in 3 years starting, guys. That's insane.
Hey, we got Wyatt Malum. We've got him in the 55 spot on our board. The only thing that's bringing him down on our board, Jacob, is the 33rd team had him 85th. Other than that, everything else is if we were to just remove that ranking from the 33rd team, this dude would probably be up in the 30s on our board.
I was going to say, I mean, look at it. He's played at left tackle, got a ton of experience at right tackle as well.
I say this guy right here. We good with it?
I'm taking Bo.
You taking Bo over him?
Yep.
All right, so Tim's saying Bo.
Tim.
Milltown represent.
You're just I was going to say he's
we've got him in the 62 spot. So it's not horrible, you know.
I mean, if we're going O-line, that's who I'm going for.
All right, chat.
I would go Wyatt Malum over Bo.
Thank
by
you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6 spots only, Tim. What's the chat say? It's going to be Bo or Malum. Who y'all taking? Jake said he's with Tim.
Freaking Jake's with Tim. I swear to God.
Jake just wants us to draft a player lower so we can tweet it out and get roasted on Twitter. That's what he does.
Look, he says Bo to play center. I didn't know that was an option. Can we do that?
Yeah. He's never played center. Did Jake? Real quick in the chat while everybody gets their vote in. Did you see something when he was working out or something that, hey, you know, because he was at the Senior Bowl, did he play some center at the Senior Bowl? Is that why you're saying that?
Also, while Jake's hopefully responding to that, when I was listening to that same podcast, PFF, they got on the topic of center, and they said, "Who's your number one center, regardless of if they played before?" They said Gray Zabel. They said, "Who's your number one center if you have to just pick the best pure center?" They said Jared Wilson. They said, "Who's the best center if you want to wait a few rounds?" They said Jonah Moynham. So all 3 of those guys I've passed off my vote of confidence, and those are 3 people I would love Gray Zabel, to be honest, just because if we could get him, and if you can just plug him in at center and he can do it, and then maybe 2 years down the road we can plug him out to guard or tackle because he is talented. To me, that's worth a ton.
All right.
I'm still taking the kid from Tulsa East. Let's go.
All right. So Jake said Bo, right? Tim said Bo. I said Malum. Jacob, who did you say?
I'd love Malum myself, but
Malum. Okay, so it's tied right now. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Shavink responded to your question. He said he played interior spots and mobile. I just think the quicks and athletic size profile fits well there.
Got it. So no experience at center, but he's kind of built for it, it feels like. Got it. Good stuff. Let's see what's everybody else saying here. I'm just trying to get a quick tally. Is Drew D saying Malum? Everybody say just the name.
Yeah, I see Malum. I see Jake saying Bo, and that's all I've really got. Yep. Come on, chat. Let's go. You're the ones that want us to do this. There you go.
Malum.
Drew D says Malum.
Drew D said Malum. All right, come on. Let's go, guys. We need a couple.
He's been called. Oh, Jake Shavik. That's how to steal my heart. He says he's been called the Zach Tab of the draft. A lot of people say that.
I didn't say that. People were saying it. Look, Chuck Jagger's Bo, Emilio Bo.
Emilio, get out of here.
Yeah. Jake
Let's
G
go.
1 2 6 All right.
Looks like we just lost, Clayton. Crap.
Oh, it is. Hey, man. You know how it is, man. It's tough out in these streets.
Draft that Milwaukee kid, man. Let's go.
All right, we
Greg's
will.
right.
We're
get a
taking
long
Malum.
snapper.
We're taking Malum.
Did you just do that?
Are you for real?
Oh, we got a C plus.
Doesn't
Look
matter.
at that.
You got hold to the wrong stuff.
We know Bo won. All right, we know Bo won. So just took a heel turn like John Cena in here. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big deal. A lot of people at the where I work have been like, "Did you see what happened with John Cena?" And I was like, "No." What?
Oh, we got to have this United Bates. Put it in reverse. We need that drop, Tim. We need that drop.
Oh Lord,
we gotta have that. Look, Prince said that's rigged for sure. You know it is, baby. Look, True D, this is a dictatorship, not a democracy. Oh man, those words getting tossed around a lot nowadays, boy.
That's terrible.
J. Cole, Clayton watch.
Steve will ask the questions. KGB waits for no one. It's
J.
true.
Cole, I don't watch wrestling, but let me tell you something, man.
It's pronounced wrestling.
Yeah, down here it was wrestling growing up. I don't know what it is. I've watched a video or two of the Attitude Era. Like that's when I was, in high school and stuff, like Stone Cold, The Rock, all that was just taking off. Man, those videos pop up on my feed and I can't get away from them. And then you know what? Raw's on tonight. I'll turn Raw on. And I'll sit there for 2 minutes. I'm like, I'm just spoiled, man. We watched wrestling when it was just
it was great.
It was
great.
And there's a lot of people, it sounds like it's picking up steam now, but and I don't hate on anybody who watches wrestling, but yeah, I barely got time to keep up with football, to be honest with you. So
dude.
Oh, look at Jason Y. Now, Jason Y, this is when I got my first taste of it, because I was born in 82. Okay. He said, no way 80s WWF was the best. I had a cousin who loved wrestling. Bro, late 80s, you're right, man. It was.
Oh, yeah.
Hit me with that crackhead drop, Tim. I'm going to need that.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff.
Listen to me.
You see Macho Man doing his interviews, and he'd just yeah.
Here's a guy.
Listen, if you are hearing my voice right now, do yourself a favor. If you have not watched at least 10 collective minutes of Macho Man doing interviews, go to YouTube tonight when you lay your sweet little head down on that pillow and fall asleep to Macho Man. Now you might wake up.
Half of them you can see the white powder underneath his nose, and you're like, oh, okay, all right. That's just what they did.
The mock draft will be back in a few minutes after this brief sponsorship from wrestling.
I thought you were going to say from some.
I was going to say, I thought from Colombia.
Yeah, exactly.
Get ready to go.
Prince knows it. The cream rise to the top. We used to have that as a drop, didn't we, Tim?
We did have that.
Yeah, we used to have the Bears Still Suck as a drop too, but I don't see it anymore. I'm a little
freaking Emilio.
Look, Drew D said,
"How dare you?"
Drew D said, "Tim, draft a wrestler." That's it. You got one pick, guys. One pick, and we're out of here. One wrestler. All right.
One wrestler.
One.
I had to pick one.
Not two. Not six. One.
Oh boy,
I'm probably the last person on this pod that should be asked this question. I wasn't a big wrestler.
I got mine.
I'll go with the Hulkster.
Gold Dust. You guys remember Gold Dust?
Oh my God,
that was just the creepiest guy that would walk out, and he was like not athletic. He was fat, but he was very shiny with gold. He liked gold.
Jake G126. I mean, Triple H played for the Vikings for one season. No, that was Brock Lesnar, sir. But try again. Give me Andre the Giant. Look at the old heads.
Gold Dust.
Great heel.
Freak.
I do remember Gold Dust freaking out Razor Ramon forever. Like he was just stalking him and everything.
He didn't want to touch him, man.
Bro, you run around in your underwear all oiled up with chest hair and that hair slicked back. Yeah, of course somebody's going to come after that.
Hey, the combine's over with already.
Jake G126 says, I mean, Triple H played for the Vikings. No, sir. It was Brock Lesnar played for the Vikings for preseason
11 minutes
and then got cut. Yeah.
He said, this sucks. We can't do roids here. I'm going back to football.
Yeah.
I'm going back to wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what? Actually, not a debate. It's Goldberg. Bro, that spear. Oh.
Yeah, he was probably great. You talk about making the most money off the least amount of talent, though. That dude had no wrestling talent at all. And he was they just said, go out there. We're going to let you win every match. All right, cool. And just go out there and kick the crap out of this dude.
What do you mean? It's fake?
Huh?
You trying to say wrestling's fake?
Jacob, we'll have a conversation off the air real quick, sir. I need to tell you that.
I don't think I can handle this. What about Santa Claus?
This show sucks so bad.
This show
And
sucks.
guys, I
Let's get out
apologize
of here.
about Wyatt Malone. We know the pick was Bo. Please forgive me. Okay. So, all right.
Edit
Anything
these.
else?
How about that?
That's the best Brian drop. Chris Sin said Doink the Clown was on that crank.
Could be a crackhead.
All right, we're out. Nothing else. Right, boys, we good?
Chuck just says, dude, how did we have ADHD? How did we get here?
I don't know, Chuck. My wife asks me that every night. She's like, how did we get here? I'm like, you're stuck now.
Man.
You ain't getting out of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Jake G126 says defend your pick, Clayton. I mean, he's higher on my board, bro. It's really simple. Unless you're talking about wrestling. My wrestling pick. Who was my wrestling pick? Back to wrestling. Why y'all want to talk football? What's wrong with you guys? Mine would have to be Stone Cold, man.
Yeah.
Cold,
It's the bottom line.
Awesome. Because I said so. Look at Jason. While we went from 110 viewers to 79, we probably lost 12 subs. So. That's all right, though.
Take it.
The important people are still in here. Now, if you're asking seriously about my pick, though, the reason I've got Bo or Malum higher than Bo, it's everything across the board. The PFF grades pretty significant. Malum was the second highest graded at his position last year. Bo was 107th, so that's going to drop him down on our board a little bit. The PFF big board had Malum at 35th at the end of the season. Bo was 78th. Bo was 49th at the end of the season, according to the consensus big board. Malum was 42nd. So he's beaten him in every category so far. The only thing that Bo is higher than Malum on is the 33rd team. Kyle Krabs had him 64th, and Kyle Krabs had Malum 85th. Bo was 66th on Dane Brugler's board. Malum didn't even make his top 100 or his top 125, I think it extended to. And then, of course, Bo had way better combine. He got the 5-point bonus there with the RAS, and Malum only got the 1-point bonus. So what it feels like, Bo maybe a little bit higher upside. Malum, I think, a little more ready right now.
Bo is very athletic to the point where they're like, this guy can do stuff that most linemen can't. Wyatt Malum is just steady Eddie, kind of plug and play type dude. So that's why I wanted him.
He can block.
He can block.
If you're wondering how that draft fell into place, this is how it went. Cam Ward, number 1 to the Titans. Travis
Look at
Hunter.
Membu going 4th.
Yeah,
What?
you're right. Armand Membo. Yeah. Travis Hunter went 2nd to the Browns. Abdul Carter went number 3 to the Giants. Armand Membo went number 4 to the Patriots. Mason Graham, number 5 to the Jaguars. Todd Warren, 6th to the Raiders. They're taking another tight end, and they're trading away, what's his name? That doesn't,
Raiders.
that doesn't check out, right? They got Brock Bowers. They got Michael Mayer the year before, and now they're looking to trade Michael Mayer. So that's somebody you want to talk about a trade potentially. I'm just saying. Ashton Gianti went number 7 to the Jets. Shamar Stewart, number 8 to the Panthers. Jahad Campbell went 9th to the Saints. That's wild. Mikael Williams went to the Bears at 10. Will Campbell, 11 to the Niners. Tetero McMillan went 12th to the Cowboys. Will Johnson went 13th to the Dolphins. Jahdae Barron went 14th to the Colts. Emin Ware, safety out of South Carolina, went 15 to the Falcons. Mike Green, edge defender, went 16th to the Cardinals. Donovan, say it for me, guys.
Ezeruku.
Sounds good. 17th to the Bengals. You had Jalen Walker go 18th to the Seahawks. We had Josh Simmons go 19th to the Buccaneers. Kenneth Grant went 20th to the Broncos. Emeka Egbuka went 21st to the Steelers. Matthew Golden went 22nd to the Chargers. So we had the two best receivers on the board went literally the 2 picks before us. So keep that in mind. Then we went with James Pierce Jr., edge defender out of Tennessee. Walter Nolan went number 24 to the Vikings. Hate that. Tyler Booker went 25 to the Texans. Kelvin Banks Jr. went 26 to the Rams. Omarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina, went to the Baltimore Ravens at 27. Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan, went 28th to the Lions. Luther Burden III, wide receiver out of Missouri, went 29th to the Commanders. I about said it. Maxwell Harrison, cornerback out of Kentucky, again in the first round.
He's now popping up everywhere in the first round of mocks. Fastest guy at the combine, went 30th to the Bills. Malachi Stark, safety out of Georgia, went 31st to the Chiefs. And then, of course, Nick Scourton went 32nd to the
And Jaden Higgins is still on the board, ripe for the picking at 54. Let's go.
You heard it from a fan right here.
Mimbo, as you guys were pointing out, we're really high on him, guys. We got him 9th on our board. And he's got a wrestling background, too.
Emilio can't, muster up the effort to get here on time, but he can sure comment like a psalm, just saying.
That's just the way it is, man. Greg Rice, I feel like Clay is reading me a bedtime story. I actually had a caller message me one time, text me on the text line and said, "Hey man, love the show. Keep up the great work. Man, I put it on the car and my daughter falls asleep. I guess the country's playing, and I was like,
I'm in a dumpster.
Hey, man, that ain't what you want to hear as a podcaster. Man, when I want to get some rest, I just put your podcast on. You put me right to sleep. It's that boring. So anyway.
ASMR football talk right here.
I think people just like to hear my voice and go, man, it's nice to be way more educated than that guy. That's really cool. Really cool. So, all right, we're out, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Jacob, Tim, thank y'all for joining in. Emilio, thank you for calling in, Slick. Appreciate you, buddy. You try, yeah. Look at this. See, yeah. You try and comment while pulling a trailer, Jacob.
I got so many jokes and none of them are appropriate.
Yeah.
I love you, Emilio.
Yeah, Emilio, you keep lying in the chat. I'm gonna send Tom Holman out there.
I was gonna say I'm gonna send an email. I'm gonna get Tom to let you out just so you could do a show lately. It'll be great.
You think God never farted?
Probably did. Last one here. Dale's got a special request. Let's put that Duval and let's get out of here.
Oh, don't.
Duval.
Creepy, right?
Ugh.
Talk to y'all soon.
Let me go.
All right.
Bye, guys.